Honestly, this one single thing changed my life forever and is still continuing to ground me in reality. And it's crafting my purpose, finding my purpose, and following my life purpose. And this is what I want to share today. And actually what I want to share more in the future about as well, because I've noticed the influence this single thing has on my life. And also part of my mission now became kind of to give back to you and to the community, to help you and help psychonauts find their mission. So I'm working on the Psychonauts Path to Purpose program, a 90-day program to discover and master your true calling. And I'm really excited to share this out into the world soon. Be on the lookout for that. Really, it's gonna be incredible. So my purpose that I've kind of defined 6 or 7 years ago for myself, and stick around till the end, where I'm going to share what this brought and how this influenced my life and in what ways a purpose can influence and really strongly benefit you in your life as well. So the purpose I've defined for myself a couple of years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, was my life purpose is to lead people to the realization of infinite love and infinite self-understanding by the embodiment and demonstration of infinite love and infinite self-understanding in my own life. I'll do that through my ability to bring back and communicate insights about truth and love from my own psychedelic experiences, to educate people about and guide people through their own psychedelic journeys. The function of my life is to demonstrate the goodness and magnitude of God, love and psychedelics to those who are courageous enough and inspired to seek it out, and to help them integrate and embody their insights in their own life. Whew. I know it's a big statement and it's a long-term vision that has kind of evolved while I was creating this statement and also now following through on realizing that statement. For me, it all began quite early actually, when I discovered psychedelics. I discovered psychedelics when I was quite young, when I was 16 years old. Maybe I've heard of them when I was 15 and tried them out for the first time when I was 16. And they changed my life forever. And at the same time, I was also kind of discovering this whole field of spirituality. Zen Buddhism, kind of Alan Watts, Terence McKenna, Ram Dass, all these kind of introduced me into the field of spirituality and psychedelics at the same time. And as such a young person, right, in their developmental stages of our lives, even in such a young age, it deeply impacted me. And I guess that has been playing a crucial factor for me to craft and go into this direction for myself of like, oh, I can do something with this. I want to give back to the substances themselves and to the community as a whole. And I want to grow into this field. And that's what I've been doing over the last years. And so much growth has happened by following through on this path, on this narrow path, and also moving from this confusion to clarity. And it's been such a rewarding journey. And I have this, even though sometimes there's challenges, I feel this deep fulfillment towards this path and this deep commitment towards walking on this path and mastering this path. And it's one of the only things that has kind of grounded me in my life and given me a direction, and kind of living with this purpose has been the single most important thing that has benefited all areas of my life as well. Health, relationships, habits, deeper explorations, all of this. So it's a deeply meaningful topic for me, and I really want to give that back to the world as well. Leo Gura, actually, from actualize.org, helped me a lot with his life purpose course. It's such a simple, nicely structured course, but it's such like to the point, and helped me to formulate that for myself. And I guess I'll have to say humans, we are creating life purpose, right? There's this perspective as well in the psychedelic community and deep psychedelic experiences that everything is meaningless. Everything has no meaning. And also at the same time, everything has infinite meaning, right? If we get to the core, there's no point in purpose. The purpose of life is such a deep question of like, is there a purpose to life? What is the purpose of life? The most simple answer I came to for myself was just like, at the deepest core, the purpose of life is to experience life, right? That's the root for myself and my current understanding, but that is even changing a little bit. And then on top of that, we are free, right? To create meaning, to create a purpose for ourselves, a mission, a direction, a calling that is aligning with our individuality as well, with our values, our passions, our strength. And all of this is on the relative level, right? It's a human construct. It's basically grounded in nothing. It's grounded in emptiness. But I found that even there is so much value in giving importance and care to this relativity of building your character and finding your own unique direction in life, and giving care and attention and awareness into that. And not just falling into this solipsistic nihilism or whatever else, even like positive optimistic nihilism of there's no purpose, so why should I do anything? Very easy to fall into that. Before I found my purpose, I was actually deep into nihilism, existentialism, philosophy, a lot of philosophy, but it influenced my mind in a negative way, and I was like very unhappy and deeply depressed about life and about the systems and about how everything works, and there was no passion to bring out anything, to create anything for the world. But this creative process of life, this bringing yourself, giving yourself to life in service, ultimately in selfless service to where you can share your gifts, is deeply meaningful on a relative level and deeply rewarding on a relative level as well. Even though the absolute perspective might be that there's no ultimate purpose to all of this, and it's just this play, right? But yeah, that brings me to the benefits of life purpose. Kind of this whole journey for myself of life purpose includes a couple of different fields. One is identifying your values, knowing what's truly important to you in this life. Is it spirituality? Is it love? Is it God? Is it freedom? What do these words, values are just words, what do these words mean to you personally? What does health mean? What does honesty mean? What does courage mean? Curiosity? What's really important to you personally? What do you feel drawn to? What's dear to your heart? And then exploring these words and what they mean for you. I was discovering, for example, that a lot of words that I was thinking I was valuing mean the same thing for me. So I was like, I have to decide between the value of freedom and God and love and infinity and self-understanding and whatever else there might be, right? Liberation, enlightenment. And then as I was contemplating this, it's like they all merged into this overarching theme of self-understanding or just infinite love, which is demonstrating infinite freedom and included in infinite freedom as well. And all of this kind of connected together, and then it went on for the more relative things like health or adventure, right? Finding your own preferences in values of what's important, what's really important to you, can be a nice guiding star, right? A north star that you are on the outlook for. And that's kind of the benefit of having this direction and purpose, and also identifying and having your values integrated in your system. It's kind of a system to make decisions, right? It makes goal setting easier. Getting back to kind of this basic personal development, because every single goal is can be filtered through your values, can be filtered through your life purpose of like, is this goal that I feel is something I want to pursue feeding into nurturing my life purpose? Is this aligned with my highest values of what's truly really important to me, as I've discovered through psychedelic journeys, right? And it's such a beautiful kind of guiding system to make decisions, to set the right goals that progress you towards the direction that you want to live in. And it simplifies a lot as well. It simplifies life for me, because there's infinite amounts of opportunities on what to pursue, what to do, who to meet, right? Where to travel. And it's such an exciting thing, like life itself. At least that's what psychedelics showed me, right? So many interests. But then cutting all of those out who are not serving this highest purpose, this highest truth, this highest calling, and simplifying into 1 or 2 or just 3 action steps and goals and directions where energy flows by giving attention to it is deeply helpful. I found it super nice. It calms my mind down. It brings peace and grounds me in my path and direction. And this clarity is such a valuable thing. And I guess also another benefit was personal development became easier, right? At the beginning, when I was getting into personal development, I was forcing it. I was trying to force it. I was like, I need to be a good human being, so I need to implement the habit of reading, of journaling, of meditation, of eating healthy, of whatever else. And I was trying to force to implement all of these habits into my life, which didn't work. I was struggling a lot with that for years and years and years while I was kind of crafting my life purpose. But once I've kind of defined the life purpose and walked on realizing this life purpose for myself, through this clarity, the question arose of like, okay, who do I need to be to embody this life purpose, to fulfill the service that is included in this direction, in this path? And then I was like, naturally, I'm curious to learn more. So a habit of reading was naturally coming in. I want to reflect more on myself and on my insights, on what I want to communicate. So naturally, I'm journaling more. Naturally, I need to be healthy to have the energy to do this work and to be focused and clear and not fully drained down energetically by smoking a lot of weed or eating unhealthy food. So naturally, my diet changed. Naturally, I get into more exercise and more meditation by being the person who I need to be in order to embody and fulfill this purpose that I've set for myself. So all of these personal development things, which can get into a hassle and a struggle and a need to or shoulds, they transformed into naturally wanting to do them, to tap into who I need to be in order to serve my purpose best. And that's so powerful, so powerful. I guess that's about it. One last thing is my spiritual crisis. It broke my life purpose apart. And for the first time, I was in this groundless, empty space again of not even wanting to work, not even being able to work. You can watch the video series right here. I also wrote a completely free ebook over 100 pages about how to navigate spiritual emergencies and spiritual crisis, or this dark night of the soul, which might inevitably come across your path if you follow this path of spirituality and psychedelics deeply. And it broke me. It broke me. And there came a deep sense of suffering from this life purpose. It's good to notice and recognize that it's a human construct, right? As I said in the beginning. And if that falls away, then I was falling into a groundless ground, kind of into this deep suffering of emptiness and of meaninglessness and of kind of trying to navigate this survival state. And even there, the purpose helped, right? The spiritual crisis showed me that ultimately our deepest foundation has to be God, the absolute, right? There's infinity, and grounding ourselves in the one, in the source of all of existence, in this nothingness, in the non-being. Grounding ourselves in that is on the deepest level more important even, or more fundamental than the life purpose. But when I was grounding myself in that, the first thing that I noticed that brought me out of the spiritual crisis, where I could kind of hold on to again and crawl myself out of this crisis and of this deep meaninglessness, was the purpose. Again, it came about. I remembered my purpose. I was looking at this and contemplating if I'm ready for it. But through having this statement and this purpose and this direction, and that also involving giving back, I crafted this book. And basically this book, this gift back to the world, was one of the main catalysts that helped me to work through my crisis. By having the drive and the desire to resolve the crisis, to move through it, to feel through it, to learn from it, right? In order to give back to the world, in order to communicate back how I can help other people move through the crisis as well, maybe. As part of this purpose, as part of the service. It was one of the most powerful things that helped me through these darkest nights of the soul. And that's a powerful thing as well. I want to end with just the notion that, of course, purpose can evolve. Interests can change, right? It's a continuous process of evolving and refining and contemplating and actualizing this purpose in different ways. But to have this clarity and not be completely stuck on it, but be flexible and move with it and flow with it, is super powerful. It's one of the most powerful things I have done for my life. And it's super nice. Be on the lookout for the Psychonauts Path to Purpose program, a 90-day program to discover and master your calling. It's in the works. And you can, as I said, download the Spiritual Emergency Workbook. Thank you very much. Subscribe. There's a lot more coming about purpose. Really getting back to the ground, to the roots of psychedelic integration. I guess it's a powerful, powerful path. And I want to talk more about the being grounded here in this reality. Also talking more about, of course, getting out there, but finding the balance between going out and shooting into outer space and integrating all these insights into our human life by living with purpose. Such a powerful concept. Thank you very much. I love you all. See you on the next one.